Electric vehicles have almost 80% more problems than gas-powered ones, Consumer Reports says. EVs have been gaining popularity for their environmental benefits and smooth rides, but did you know that they have some serious reliability problems? According to recent reports, they have more problems than gas-powered vehicles. First, a report from Consumer Reports raised some eyebrows when it revealed that EVs from the last 3 model years had a whopping 79% more problems than traditional gas-powered cars. That's a significant difference and something worth noting. Now, why are these EVs having more hiccups? Well, the report was based on feedback from over 330,000 vehicle owners, so it's not just a small sample size we're talking about here. They looked at 20 different areas where issues might pop up, ranging from the usual suspects like engine and transmission to more EV-specific components like electric motors and infotainment systems. So what are some of the more common problems? Well, one issue that crops up is related to the electric motors. They're the heart of an EV, and if they start acting up, it can lead to some headaches for owners. Then there are concerns about leaks, which can be a nuisance regardless of the type of vehicle, but can be especially tricky to deal with in EVs because of their unique components. Let's not forget about the infotainment systems. While these might not be as crucial for getting from point A to point B, they're becoming increasingly important for drivers. So if they start glitching or acting finicky, it can dampen the overall driving experience. Now, here's where things get a bit interesting. A big reason for these problems might be the fact that many of today's EVs are coming from either traditional car makers who are just dipping their toes into electric waters, or from brand new companies like Rivian, who are venturing into the automotive world for the first time. Think about it. Making cars is no easy feat, and throwing electric technology into the mix only adds to the complexity. So it's not all that surprising that these companies are experiencing some growing pains as they navigate this new terrain. Legacy automakers, while they might be giants in the car industry, are essentially starting from scratch when it comes to EVs. They're having to retool their factories, train their workers, and basically relearn how to build cars from the ground up. It's a massive undertaking, and it's bound to come with its fair share of challenges. On the other hand, you've got newcomers like Rivian, who are bringing fresh ideas and innovation to the table. But even with all their enthusiasm and outside-of-the-box thinking, they're still figuring out the ins and outs of car manufacturing. And let's face it, there's bound to be a few bumps in the road along the way. So while it's frustrating for owners to deal with issues like wonky electronic motors or finicky charging systems, it's also kind of par for the course, given the state of the industry. One would expect that as these companies gain more experience and iron out the kinks, we can expect to see EVs become more reliable and hassle-free in the future. EV enthusiasts will tell you that it's just a matter of giving them the time and space to work these bugs out. And that's where Tesla, the OG of the electric vehicle world, comes in. They've been at this game for over a decade, paving the way for the rest of the industry. But here's the kicker. Despite all that experience, Tesla finds itself somewhere in the middle of the pack when it comes to reliability. And that might come as a surprise to some folks, considering Tesla's reputation for cutting-edge technology and innovation. But hey, nobody's perfect, right? Even the trailblazers of the EV world have their ups and downs. But it's not all bad news for Tesla. Take their Model Y, for example. This baby hit the scene in 2020, and after a bit of a rocky start, it's finally getting some love from Consumer Reports. For the first time ever, the Model Y is being recommended by the folks over at Consumer Reports, which is kind of a big deal. So what changed? Well, it seems like Tesla has been listening to feedback from owners and making some improvements along the way. According to Consumer Reports, owners are reporting fewer issues with things like suspension, in-car electronics, and overall build quality compared to previous years. And it's not just the Model Y that's getting some love. The Model 3, Tesla's entry-level offering, has also earned a spot on the Consumer Reports recommended list. So despite its middling reliability ranking, it looks like Tesla is making strides in the right direction when it comes to keeping their customers happy. Now, does this mean Tesla's out of the woods when it comes to reliability? No, not by a long shot. Like any car maker, they'll have to stay on their toes and keep pushing the envelope if they want to maintain their edge in the ever-evolving world of electric vehicles. This is because when it comes to Tesla, the story of reliability isn't just about the nuts and bolts under the hood. It's also about the nuts and bolts holding everything together. While Tesla's electric vehicle components have come a long way in terms of reliability, the company still grapples with some hiccups in the build quality department. So let's break it down. Tesla's powertrains, the heart and soul of their vehicles, are generally rock solid these days. They put in the time and effort to refine their electric motors and batteries, and it shows. But here's where things get a bit dicey: the actual construction of the vehicles themselves. Tesla owners have been vocal about a laundry list of build quality issues, from wonky paint jobs to busted trim pieces. We're talking about things like paint that's anything but picture perfect, trim that's seen better days, door handles that decide to take a break, and trunks that just won't cooperate. Now you might be thinking, hey, what's the big deal? That's just a few cosmetic issues. But here's the kicker: all of these little annoyances add up, and they can really put a dent in the overall ownership experience. Plus, when you're shelling out big bucks for a luxury electric vehicle, you kinda expect everything to be, well, perfect. And it's not just about aesthetics. These build quality issues can actually drag down Tesla's reliability score, according to those in the know. So while the powertrains might be humming along like a well-oiled machine, it's clear that Tesla still has some work to do when it comes to tightening up the screws on the rest of the car. Well, in some cases, quite literally. But hey, nobody said revolutionizing the auto industry would be an easy feat, right? And with Tesla's track record of innovation and improvement, it's probably only a matter of time before they get these build quality issues sorted out once and for all. Until then, Tesla owners might just have to cross their fingers and hope for the best. When we talk about electric vehicles, it's not just about pure EVs like Tesla and Nissan Leafs. There's also a whole other category to consider: the plug-in hybrid electric vehicles, or PHEVs for short. And unfortunately, when it comes to reliability, they don't exactly have the best track record either. According to the scoreboard, PHEVs average almost 150% more problems than your average gas-guzzling car. And that's a pretty hefty difference. It's something that potential buyers should definitely keep in mind when weighing their options. But it's not all doom and gloom in the world of hybrids. Traditional hybrids, the ones that can't be plugged in and run solely on gasoline, are actually doing pretty darn well on the reliability department. In fact, they're experiencing 26% fewer problems on average compared to good old internal combustion engine vehicles. So what's the deal with hybrids versus plug-in hybrids? Well, it all comes down to complexity. PHEVs have to juggle both electric and gasoline powertrains, which can lead to more potential points of failure. On the other hand, traditional hybrids keep things simple by relying solely on gasoline, which seems to result in fewer headaches for owners. So it's clear that both electric vehicles and plug-in hybrid electric vehicles have their fair share of problems compared to their gas-powered counterparts. From issues with electric drive motors to build quality concerns, there's no denying that EVs and PHEVs have some room for improvement in terms of reliability. So where does that leave us? Well, it's hard not to question whether EVs are all they're cracked up to be, given their numerous issues. Sure, they offer environmental benefits and a futuristic driving experience, but are those perks enough to outweigh the headaches that can come with owning one? Let us know what you think in the comment section, and hey, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel and like the video so you can see more videos like this.